call your table number, please come to the carpet facing the board. Table 4, 3, 2. Thank you for going slowly and quietly to me. 1 and 5. When you are on the carpet, you need to be in crisscross with your hands in your lap, ready to pay attention. Thank you for pushing that in. If you're in the back row, make sure you're not directly behind someone. Find an area where you can still see the board. Great. Okay, so this week, who can tell me what comprehension strategy have we been talking about? What thing are we looking for when we're reading our story of the week? Marcos? Cause and effect. So I have a question for you. Do causes and effects just exist in books? No. What is another example of a cause and effect that you can think of? Because, I mean, I read them in books all the time, but, like, what's another time you can think of a cause and effect? Christopher?
When you are, like, thirsty and you
Okay.
have a water bottle, you drink it,
Okay.
because you're thirsty.
Okay, so Christopher said, hey, this kind of stuff happens to me all the time. So I have a question for you. We're going to talk about cause and effect for a second. Raise your hand if you can tell me what it is I am holding. What is this? Oh, everybody knows. Angela, it is an egg. Now, before I tell you what I'm going to do with this egg, what do you know about eggs? What do you know about eggs? Tomas? When you crack it, you often cook it. Okay, what else do you know about eggs? Aaron?
They're easy to crack.
They're easy to crack. What makes them easy to crack? What makes them so easy to crack that we have to be very careful? Mary? The shell is, well, it's kind of tough, but is the shell very thick?
Yeah.
Shell's kind of thick, but really if you think about it, do I have to slam this down to get it to crack? No. So let's talk about it. Okay, I have 2 objects up here. Okay, if you're in the back row, I'll lift them up so you don't need to stand up. The first object I have is, our homework bin, right? What can you tell me about the homework bin? Timmy?
It's hard.
It's pretty hard, right? What material do you think this is made of, probably? Leon? Plastic. Okay, that's our object number 1. And here's our second one. What do we know about this? What do we know about this? Minchwan? It's a pillow. What do we know about pillows? What do you know about a pillow, Dorcas? Pillows are normally soft. So if I have a hard object and a soft object, they're kind of opposites, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this plastic one for a second. I want to talk about this egg. Now we're about to do what we call an egg drop. Good. So I need some predictions from some of my teammates. I want to know, what do you think is going to happen if I drop the egg in the orange bucket? Now you're not just going to say it's going to crack, because did you give me a good whole complete sentence? No, you have to give me your whole complete thought. What do you think is going to happen when I drop this egg into the orange bucket, Daniel?
It's gonna crack a little bit.
Okay, so Daniel says it's not the whole thing's not gonna crack, but it's gonna crack a little bit. Can somebody put that in an I think, reason, because sentence? Princess.
I think that egg will completely crack because when you drop the egg, you sometimes drop it really hard.
Okay, so Princess says, I think, and here's what she thinks is gonna happen. I think the egg will crack because she knows from her life, she knows from experiences that she's had, that when you drop an egg in a hard way or on a hard surface, it cracks. So that's our prediction. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. If you're like, yeah, that's a pretty good prediction, right? We used what we know about the world, we made a prediction. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Now, I mean, it might just bounce back up and me catch it. Is that possible?
No.
Probably not. So would that be a reasonable prediction or not?
No.
Probably not. Okay, can you count down for me?
3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Okay. Find your bottom. I will show everybody. What happened to our egg?
Oh.
Oh, I need some hands. Some people have already seen it, so you should be be able to tell me what happened to our egg? Oh, it's okay. Then you need to ask me to show it to you again, but interrupting is not necessary. If you would like to see it again, you need to raise your hand and ask, but you just interrupted the question. So I need a teammate to answer the question that I just asked. What happened? If you can't see, well, I'll give you a chance to look at it later. It's a very deep bucket, so it's difficult for me to see, but I don't want to spill it out. Can everybody see now?
No. Okay.
Oh, okay. Find your bottoms, please. What happened? Was our prediction correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Correct. Why was it correct? Somebody raise your hand. What happened that made our prediction true? That made our prediction true. David.
Yeah, you drop it and then it's tested hard and then you broke
and it broke. So let's talk for a second. What if I would have placed the egg gently in the bottom? Would we have had the same result?
No.
No, probably not. So here's what I want you to think about. We need to think about what was the cause of that egg to crack. Right, the effect, the what happened was that the egg cracked. What caused the egg to crack? What caused it to happen, Aaron? The bucket was hard. And it cracks on a hard surface. So the cause, why did it crack? It cracked because I dropped it. So the cause is the why. The cause is the why something happens. What was the cause of the egg cracking? Miss Corcoran dropped the egg. Right? Because I just got done asking you, if I would have placed the egg, would we have had the same effect? Whoops. No big deal. Thank you, though, for letting me know I spilled that. Okay. So Miss Corcoran dropped the egg. Absolutely, that was the cause. The effect is what happens after something else. So because I dropped the egg, that made what happen? The egg cracked. Good. So now, what if I would have dropped the egg on the pillow? So it has the same cause, right? The cause, Miss Corcoran drops the egg. What do you think would have been different about the effect, the what happens after? What would have been different about the effect? Cause is the same, but I don't know if the effect would have been the same or different. What do you think, Natalie?
I think that the egg would crack.
Okay, so Natalie says that she thinks the effect would be different because the egg would not have cracked. Raise your hand if you agree that you think that's what probably would have happened. Raise your hand if you disagree and you think it would have been a different effect. So everybody pretty much agrees with what Natalie says, right? Yes. Natalie said same cause, the effect would be different because the egg isn't going to crack open like it did on the plastic. The egg, Raphael, is just going to probably sit on the pillow. Or if it did crack, would it crack as much as that egg did? No, probably not, right? Good. So now let's go, we want to go through this again. We need to remember that the cause is the why and the effect is the what. Raise your hand if you can tell me which one of these has to come first. What comes first? If I'm thinking about a sequence of events and what is happening in a story, is the cause going to come first or the effect? Tomas, the effect comes first? Okay, so that would mean whenever you're reading, you know what happens before you know why. So that would mean the egg was cracked before I dropped it. Do you want to think about it for another minute? Who has a different idea of which one comes first? If we think about it, the effect is like what you get at the end. What happens at the end of a situation. So what's going to come first? Who have I not heard from? Mary. The cause is going to come first. Why does something happen? The why has to happen before the what. Okay, now the next slide has something, it's kind of a funny picture on it, okay? So I'm telling you this ahead of time because if you laugh and you giggle and you get that out, we then need to get back to serious mode because we're still learning cause and effect, okay? So,